stuck in because Spain are going to ask some questions. We saw the seedings earlier where both these teams have finished up at the end of the last series, and Dubai has been a happy hunting ground for the Aussies in the past.
It certainly has for Australia. They've made the last couple of finals. Amazing performance 2 finals ago here, coming back from so many tries. An interesting selection from Tim Walsh, isn't it? Shannon Parry on the bench, Emily Cherry on the bench, Elia Green on the bench. Not they haven't got a lot of experience on the pitch though, nevertheless.
Still some sharp operators in that starting team though, so just a couple of moments we'll have Australia and Spain going at it. Hello to you if you're watching on in Brisbane or Barcelona. Jessica Beard will officiate this one for you. I know that a number of countries are taking this via the World Rugby stream, and they will be excited at what's to come. Chloe Dalton just bobs and then sends the kickoff on its way. Good carry there from Spain. Take play 40 from their own line with some movement there to Bueso brought down eventually by Kaslik, who makes the tackle, jumps up, does so well to force a turnover. That is brilliant to the breakdown from Kaslik, and now Dalton fires it across the park to Tonagato. Forward passes a call. Tim Walsh, coach of the Aussie Sevens team.
Marginal forward pass, wasn't it? Just forward. Interesting, Teresa Bueso, 18 years old, debutant from Spain, made the break that in the end Charlotte Kaslik turned over. It was forward, wasn't it? Fair enough, just about crept forward. I'm not sure that Sean Maloney sat next to me is in agreement.
I think she was fairly well covered on the outside, Tonagato anyway, and Tim Walsh, who we saw on camera just a few moments ago, did a great job in getting the men's team qualified for Rio a couple of weeks back at the Oceania qualifiers.
Amazing job Tim Walsh has done. I was chatting to him a couple of nights ago, juggling the men's and the women's team, looking after the women's development through the summer and getting the boys qualified for Rio in such style as well.
They were very polished a couple of weeks back, booking their ticket, now drifting across the park and then firing it was Real. It'll get a little bit loose on the ground there for Tonagato. She pounces and we've found a knock on there.
Throughout last season, Spain struggled with the slick, precise passing that you need to be successful in sevens. They've really got to push themselves on that if they want to be successful. A couple of times there, and the ball not going to hand, not going where it should have. They have to be tighter.
Wilhelmina is the name of the mascot that the youngest in the team carries around with. And Tonagato, in the absence of Tiana Penatani, forced to do the trick. So now a good chance for the Aussies to launch their first real attacking opportunity.
Good pressure from Australia to get the turnover there. Kaslik getting her hands on the ball. Haven't had much chance to show what they can do yet, have they?
Good weight coming there from the Spanish scrum, but Australia clear, and now is Polite across the park. She goes to Tonagato, and that'll beat her into touch. So just not clicking through 3 minutes of action here for a side who come into this tournament as fairly decent chances.
Yeah, I talked earlier about how we've seen too much of that poor passing from Spain over the last series. It's not something we see so often from Australia, but at the moment both teams competing to give their wingers as passes as difficult as possible.
Go over the top, and Turner swoops. So strong in contact, Turner, and does well to retain possession there across the park now to Kaslik. Kaslik shapes and sends it long and wide to Tonagato, who splits the defence And the quick-footed little flyer out of QLD, Queensland, Emma Tonegato goes in for Australia's first.
35 tries in the series, not a bad tally for someone who hasn't always been first pick. This time, Charlotte Caslett gets the ball out to Tonegato. Still not perfect, but Tonegato cuts inside the last two defenders. She's such a good finisher, makes it look very, very easy.
Dalton smashes through the additional two. My apologies to Emma's family, of course. She's from New South Wales. Them's fighting words back in Australia. Sue Day, Emma Tonegato, third on the all-time Aussie try scorers list with a rugby league background, little Emma.
Yeah, Australia can take a breath now. It's always feels better when you get your first points on the board. It's not often it takes Australia 5 minutes to do that, but they're up and running now.
Dalton, beautifully weighted restart, up it goes. Just as we say that, a little breath of wind drifts across the stadium here in Dubai and sends it out on the fly. So Spain will have the chance to launch from halfway.
Just what you don't want as the attacking team. You lovely kick off and then you've got to get back and do all that defensive work again.
Garcia, the pass just missing the mark. Running into touch.
Not wanting to be repetitive, that last pass again for Spain. We've seen it so often. Have to work out a way to make these passes more precise. A lot of space there and could really have put pressure on Australia.
Work across to outside the former Polite, and passing from both teams is not up to spec, as they say, and their coach will not be happy with that. Tim Walsh gifting Spain a chance to perhaps hit back just before half-time.
Yeah, Tonegato was looking up ahead, thinking about the try line rather than thinking about catching the ball, a trap that try scorers fall into once every so often.
But a better ball coming from Garcia, and now scooting away down the far touchline is Berta Garcia. The Garcias go whack whack, and Spain have their first try in Dubai.
The first time probably that Spain put a string of good passes together. It goes out, Garcia through the hands to the other Garcia on the wing, and she's a big, strong girl. She's not one of the fastest in the team, but once she gets her head up a steam, hard to stop, and actually no defence anywhere near her.
Conversion attempt is a screamer from out wide. So at half-time in this Pool C matchup between Australia and Spain, it is all locked up at 7 apiece.
Ready to go now?
Yeah.
You know how many phases we've gone with the ball?
One.
None.
Oh.
None, and we scored. Okay, we turned it over 4 times. Okay, so let's respect that ball. Okay, just have composure. All right. Defensively, okay, tap defense. All right, we wait and let them play. Okay, we don't press up and show them the outside. All right. Okay, so good ruck decisions. All right, around that area, that's good. Okay, it's just an attack. You're holding the ball. They want to slow everything down. They're walking everywhere, walking the lines, walking the jumps. You get there, you get set. Okay, we dictate the pace of this game. All right. Okay, now it's time to perform and stay a bit composed. All right. Let's own this second half. All right. Don't give them a sniff.
Look, we're walking around there quiet as hell. Just 7 minutes now. We've got to work fucking hard.
Well, disappointed. I'm disappointed in the language displayed there by my country women, and we apologise, don't we, Sude? I apologise for them.
We certainly do.
Each of the teams are briefed before each tournament. Just keep the language down, because we're coming into the huddle, which is one of the great features of the World Rugby 7 series. How many times have you got to...
You just got to keep repeating
it's the women more than the men who let fly.
How can you say such a thing, Sean? It's the pressure of the moment, isn't it? It's the passion of the moment. But yeah, they've got to keep a lid on it. Now, what we also heard Tim Walsh say there was own this half. Australia need to take this half by the scruff of the neck and give it everything they've got. It's been very, very quiet so far.
So knocked forward off the restart for our second half action here in Dubai, and it is warm, it must be said, out in the middle. It is scorching. So you can forgive each of these teams who are going about their work at the moment for slipping up here and there, because the mercury's up around 30, but it feels a whole lot warmer than that. And when you've got to charge around the park for 14 minutes straight, you're going to feel it as comes away there from Turner, and here's Williams. Williams, one-hand offload round the corner. Great skills there from Shani Williams, and on they come again, Australia. Quick recycle, good work in and around the breakdown, and now there's more urgency about their work. Quirk floats it long to Dalton, who will look to get past Garcia. No way past. Super tackle there. Turner. Kaslik. Williams finds Polite. Polite dummies inside. Polite is going to back herself to go all the way. Vania Polite puts Australia back in front.
Polite just gliding along the ground. It didn't even look like she was going quickly, but ghosted through that gap. There she goes. Tanigata's on the outside, holding up the defence a little bit, but Polite just puts her foot on the gas, outruns Vanessa Real. Makes it look so easy. It's so effortless the way she runs, doesn't she?
So balanced in her movement across the park. We saw her really shine in Atlanta this year with a couple of long-range tries, very similar to that. And once she gets her nose through, she's gone. Kicks all good. So 14-7, Australia lead Spain. 4.5 to run. Dalton sends it up. Looks like Shannon Parry on the park in that yellow headgear, and I might have been knocked on off the kickoff, but they played the advantage and then gave away the penalty.
Yeah, not letting go of the ball on the floor. The referee says, yes, Shannon Parry on the park now with their mate Shani Williams. It's rare that we see a match start for Australia without both of them on there. I'm sure they'll both feel a little bit happy that the other one's there now.
Williams makes the tackle there on Casado. Green also on the park, and to shut down the threat on this new touchline alongside Williams. They look to unsettled. Green pushes through. It's just a bit of soccer about it for the moment. Williams is back, and we're going to play the penalty. Offsides, they call there from Jessica Beard.
In front of the kicker, presumably, that one. But yeah, it looked like it had turned into a football match there. Australia, Spain, of course. Spain, quite a heritage in that form of the game.
Kaslik. The long gate at the line, and now switches to Green, who just throws herself at the defence. Parry across to Quirk. Quirk Nice long ball there to Dalton. Dalton gets under one and takes play inside the 22. Looking to go back-to-back with tries here, Australia. Pelite, she has the last try scored to her name. Good work there from Charlotte Caslick. Elliot Green, you are not going to catch Elliot Green with that room to move. She's lightning and she has 5.
An easy run in for Elliot Green in the end, wasn't it? 45th try now, but because the handling was so good from the rest of her teammate, and particularly that pass from Charlotte Caslick, that's what made the space. What Australia don't quite have compared to some other teams is that pace on the other side, the fast forward, and so it meant that when Chloe Dalton took the ball in, rather than getting the ball over the line, they've got to play it all the way back the other way, but they do it. When they do it well, they do it so well. Leah Green in so much space, and look at that total.
Expect her to make some big inroads on Emily Cherry at the top of that list as well. Dalton hits it nicely, and it's just going to fall short. So scores remain 19-7 in favour of the Aussies. Gemma Etheridge with a restart. Her birthday during the week. Happy birthday, Gemma. No doubt her twin sister Nikki will be watching on via the World Wide Webs and hoping she can get back and shut down this threat from Spain. Over the top was Quirk. And they turn it beautifully, do Australia. Williams. Straighten and now hold the pass after Pelite. Nice switch ball there. Here he is. Etheridge, that is going to just be taken in a touch by Shannon Parry.
Until that last pass, it was such a lovely passage of play from Australia. First of all, the turnover, then they moved it back this way across the pitch, realised there was nothing to play for, switched it back beautifully. Just that last pass didn't go to hand, but it's that decision there, and it's Pelite that makes the decision. She runs the line for Shani Williams, but that last pass, and Shannon Parry couldn't quite be the ballerina and keep it in.
Forcing the turnover there at the line out is Australia, and on the park is Emily Cherry, who'll kick it awkward for Green. Will it sit up? Oh, of course it does. Green off and running, and she has 2, and Australia have an opening win here in Dubai.
Emily Cherry has such a lovely kicking game, a really good range of kicks. We see her do also really attacking, not just giving the ball away. She knew exactly where she was putting that in front of Elia Green, and it just sat up, pops up here. The ball goes over, bounced a couple of times, just pops right up into Elia's hands so she can just pick it up as she runs past. Brilliant kick, and of course, as ever, really good finish.
The additional 2. All good, so full time, and Australia have opened with a win in the desert. Home 26 points to 7 over Spain.